Subnautica Fauna Cladogram Part 4. Hello. This part will be about the vertical swimmers, the most basal of which I believe to be the pinacarid. Just like the ghost leviathan, the pinacarid can tell us a lot about the common ancestor of the whole clade. Instead of three pairs of fins like the more derived vertical swimmers, the pinacarid has multiple fins all along its length. Those fins do nonetheless move up and down, which is probably how the vertical swimming style started. Similar to how Earth's arthropods started with multiple pairs of simple limbs and ended up with fewer pairs of more complex limbs, the multiple fins of early vertical swimmers led to the 6 fins of the Hexapterygia. Sadly, unlike other clades, we do not have a clear split between the various branches of the Hexapterygia. Only two highly derived groups, each of which must have had a long evolutionary history that we may never know about. One of those groups is the Exognatha, characterized by the fact that they have extra jaws on the outside of their mouths. Look at the Reaper Leviathan for an archetypical example of this clade. You see that it has a regular mouth as well as 4 external movable mandibles. How did this even evolve though? Many earth fish have jaws that shoot out to catch prey. I think the Exognatha had a similar set of jaws that later evolved to its logical extreme, being used more like raptorial forelimbs than mouth parts. That in turn must have caused the pharyngeal jaws of that clade to evolve into a proper mouth and do the job the oral jaws couldn't do anymore. From this design emerged several variations. The crab snake is basically a troglodytic eel-like version of that. It lost its eyes and one pair of external jaws, as well as all of its fins. This may seem like a regression, but actually makes it ideal for its environment. The loss of fins made it more serpentine, which allows its body to easily fit inside the holes it inhabits. The loss of eyes could be because it lives in a cave, but then again it has colors, so there's gotta be some light there for it to still need those. So maybe it just detects prey via other means, but if that were the case, its eyes would have just been reduced, not completely gone. Let's just move on. The mesmer is a small exognath that uses a hunting strategy once thought to be also used by the cuttlefish of Earth. Its fins are covered with chromatophores which alternate between bright and dark colors so fast that it causes a hypnotic effect on its prey. Once prey gets within striking distance, it shoots out its 4 outer mandibles and pulls it inwards, which is also similar to how cuttlefish shoot their tentacles at their prey. The final member of the exognaths is the Chalicerid. This creature has adapted the exognath body plan for hunting armored prey. Its outer jaws are less mobile and more robust, offering greater bite force at the cost of range and precision. The other derived clade of vertical swimmers are the Diphtalma, aliens that lost one pair of eyes. Of those, I believe the most basal ones to be the Xenochondrichthyes, a group that contains the alien sharks and the alien rays, alien cartilaginous fish. The glow whale is the only diphtalman that still has a vestigial pair of eyes, which its closest relative, the rabbit ray, lacks. Those two are basically the whale shark and blind shark of this planet, so I expect them to have a similar level of relatedness. The alien rays are the clade that contains the Crimson Ray, Ghost Ray and Arctic Ray, with the Crimson Ray and the Ghost Ray being the closest relatives of one another and the Arctic Ray being slightly more distant relative of both. these aliens have lost the third pair of fins altogether, and two of them have a very reduced second pair. The Arctic ray has two pairs of fins that are of equal length and are also very frilly, which I believe is an adaptation for stabilization as it swims on its side like a boomerang and a magmarang. Convergent evolution. I wasn't sure how to call the rest of them, but they're all more closely related to one another than to all the other ones. They also have very little to talk about individually, so I'll just rapid fire them somewhat, if that's the right term. Garryfish, the diphtalman hexapterygian body plan adapted for life at the reef. Hoverfish, the only hexapterygian where all the fins are identical. It is also the cutest little thing you will see in the game. Look at its face, it's adorable, I love it. Lava lizard, the opposite end of the spectrum. Its first pair of limbs is massive, and the second and third pair have been reduced. Gasopod, the only hexapterygian where the second pair is massive and the first one is reduced, the third being non-existing. Bone shark. I remember seeing somewhere that both the bone shark and the sand shark evolved from the research specimen, but that's ridiculous. It's like saying that turtles, armadillos, and pillbugs all evolved from the Ankylosaurus because they're all armored. Disagreeing with canon was the right choice, and I will never go back on that rule. So that's it for the vertical swimmers. Next part will be about the horizontal swimmers, the final and most specious of all Subnautica's clades. See you there, and goodbye.